Hello there, Josh Qualls here with movie reviews. Today's movie, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Was it a good movie? Yes. Was it a bad movie? Yes. Let's take a deeper dive together into this further adventures in the Ghostbusters franchise. Was it good to have the Ghostbusters back in New York? Yes, it was. Did they need to be there? No, but it worked out for the basis of this story. There were a lot of good things in this movie, a lot of bad things in the movie. But let's start where the biggest problem I think was with the director Gil Kidden, if I'm pronouncing his name right. He didn't really have much under his belt for movies. Honestly, he didn't direct too many things. He did in 2006 Monster House, 2008 City of Ember, 2015 a Poltergeist movie, Scream the TV series. He did one episode, and A Boy Called Christmas in 2021, and this was his next big movie. I just think it was a shame we didn't have the previous director, Ivan Reitman's son, but it is what it is. I think we're going to find out when a DVD comes out that this movie was cut quite a bit because from the trailers, there's quite a few scenes that didn't make it in the movie. Scenes with Vakeman, scenes with Janine answering the phone, a few others. And I question why they cut certain scenes. I mean, especially with the OG group, I mean, that's what the fans are really wanting to see. Now, the previous movie was a great movie. It did really well, but one of my biggest pet peeves, what they did was when they didn't have the original Ghostbusters throughout all of it. It is what it is, and that's what we got, but there it is. One of the most interesting things in the movie to me was the motorcycle that Ray had that obviously was used for getting Ghost. Now, the question is, at some point after Ghostbusters 2, did they develop this and use it before the events of Ghostbusters Afterlife? Or, after Egon stole the car and everything else, did Ray get this motorcycle and use it for ghostbusting? A little plot hole that I really wish they would answer, and hopefully in a DVD, perhaps they will. I think it was very unique. I wish we could have got to see a little more of this, but a very interesting piece of Ghostbuster history now. Patton Oswalt is a good actor. I like him, but I honestly didn't think they needed his character. I don't think they needed the scene for the library. They didn't need to have the nostalgia of that ghost, which it did answer questions like, did they ever go back and catch that ghost? And no, they didn't. But Ray didn't need to go there getting this linguist. I mean, in Ghostbusters 2, his whole book, Ray's Occult, they got all kinds of stuff on the past and everything, and why they never give reference to Tobin's spirit guide like they did in the first movie. It was used a ton of times in the Ghostbuster cartoon show. I just feel that this character didn't need to be in here, and they could have focused more on other characters. So what's your thoughts on that? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I really wish they wouldn't have had this ghost character of Melody. I just felt it was pointless to have her in there, and honestly, they should have focused more on other characters. It just was a waste, and it is what it is. But that's my opinion. What do you think? It was really good seeing Slimer back in this, and I'm glad they made him look more the way he did in the first movie. I never cared for the way he looked in the second movie. I only regret that they didn't show a scene with him and Bill Murray's character of Vakeman. It would have been really cool if they would have shown the three original Ghostbusters catching him again. I really wish they would have done that, and who knows what the future might hold. What do you think? There's a scene in the movie where the possessor ghost possessed one of the proton packs, and then Podcast comes in with his hammer and beats the heck out of the proton pack. And it reminds me of a line off the first movie that just concerned me a little. And I wonder if you had the same thought on this as well.
Why worry? Each of us is wearing an unlicensed nuclear accelerator on his back.
One thing that was done really well in this new Ghostbuster movie was showing elements of the past connected to the future with this new villain. And I always regretted they didn't do that with the first movie with Gozer, showing what Gozer did in the past. And they mentioned stuff in Ghostbusters 2 of Vigo's past. And who knows, maybe they might make prequels to those movies. But I think this was something that was done very well. And if they make any further Ghostbusters movies, maybe they might do that as well. Now, some people may not agree with me, but I think there was no reason to put those little Stay Puft dudes back in this movie. At the end of the previous movie, they were destroyed, at least to the best of our knowledge they were, but just they didn't need to be in here. I just felt that it was a distraction, and if they wouldn't have put them in here, they could have had more scenes for more development of other characters, maybe even more for the villain. I feel it was a waste. Do you agree? Do you not agree? Tell me your thoughts. One mystery from the Ghostbusters 2 movie was after the events of the first movie, did they build a new containment unit after Walter Peck had the first unit shut down and they had a huge explosion? We never got to see the containment unit in the second movie. At the end of Afterlife, there was a post-credit scene where we got to see the containment unit, but we never got confirmation did they rebuild the one from the first one or did they build a new one. This is a plot hole I always wondered, and it was interesting seeing so much with the containment unit in this frozen empire. And if it was a new unit, maybe Egon and Ray made a way for it safer if something would happen, because whenever the ghost got out of this, the explosion wasn't as cool, or really wasn't even an explosion at all, in my opinion, the way it was in the first movie. I just question why they didn't make it more epic the way it was in the first movie. What's your thoughts on this? The question is, did Egon's daughter marry Gary or not? That's something they never really answered in this movie. Several years had gone by too, because Trevor in the previous movie was 15 and now he's 18. So it left open a few plot points. I wondered, did they come there recently? Did they come there in the post-credit scene of the previous movie? How long had they been living in the firehouse? How long had they been pursuing Ghost? Why did Winston have a secret area where he was doing other Ghostbuster stuff instead of being there at the main firehouse? A few little plot hole points that just bugged the heck out of me that I think could have been better. It's just one of those things. It is what it is. This was a good movie. I think they could have done more with the Walter Peck character. I really think they should have left out the Melody Ghost character. I wish they would have done more with the character of the Fire Master guy. They used a scene with the PK meter where he had some form of possession or something in there. I think they should have maybe dived deeper in that. I mean, was it his grandmother or past people who dealt with this creature? I just really wish they would have thought this out better on a few scenes, but for the most part, I think it was really good. And if anybody truly wants to criticize this movie and say it's bad, I suggest they go back and look at the all girl version of the Ghostbuster movie and remember that. I think this was a good one. I really hope that they do develop another Ghostbuster movie. I just really wish we could get something a little more epic with the original guys. I question, will Bill Murray ever come back? I think they should have done a little more with Janine. There's questions of the early movies that I still think we need the answers, like whatever happened to Lewis, what happened to Dana's child, whatever happened to that guy who was the caretaker of the museum in the second movie. Little details like that. I mean, maybe we might get a Ghostbusters TV series. Who knows? But this is my review of Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Hopefully, you enjoyed it, and there will be more to come. Thank you.